All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. You ready to get focused today?
Absolutely. I think this is something everyone struggles with.
Yeah, especially in our world today.
Yeah.
I feel like everything's trying to grab our attention every second of the day.
Yeah, you can't even walk down the street without being bombarded with ads and notifications and everything.
Exactly. So we're going to dive into this topic of focus today. How to get it, how to keep it, and really how to make it work for us.
Sounds good.
And for this one, we're going to be looking at some excerpts from Pasted Text. Have you had a chance to look over this one?
Oh, yeah. Definitely some really thought-provoking stuff in here.
Yeah, it really kind of hits you right between the eyes with that first line. I'm just going to jump right in. If you don't control your focus, the world will control it for you.
It's powerful, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. And a little bit scary when you think about it.
It is. It's a little bit intimidating, but it's also true when you think about all the forces out there that are vying for our attention.
Vying. That's a good word. Is it really like a fight, though? I mean, is it really that dramatic?
I think it is. I think it's a battle for our mental resources. You know, there's this whole concept of the attention economy.
Attention economy.
Yeah, it's the idea that companies are literally profiting from our attention. The more time we spend scrolling on our phones, the more data they collect and the more money they make.
So they actually want to distract us.
In a way, yes. They've designed these platforms to be addictive to keep us hooked. And it's working. I mean, how many times have you caught yourself scrolling for way longer than you intended?
Oh, all the time. Like my brain just goes numb after a while.
Yeah.
But then I end up feeling so drained and unproductive.
Exactly. And that's the problem. We end up giving away our power, our attention to these companies instead of using it for things that actually matter to us.
So how do we take back control?
Well, the text gives us a really good starting point. Attention equals power. Where we choose to focus our attention is where our energy goes, and that's where we seek growth.
So if I'm constantly focusing on negative things or things that stress me out, those things are just going to become bigger.
Exactly. But the opposite is also true. If you can train yourself to focus on the positive, on your goals, on the things that bring you joy, those things will start to flourish.
It's like choosing what to water in your garden.
Exactly. You wouldn't spend all your time watering the weeds, would you?
I guess not.
Yeah.
But it's so easy to get distracted. You know, like the other day I was trying to do some research for work, and I ended up spending like an hour reading about the history of coffee.
I can relate to that. It's so easy to fall down those rabbit holes.
It's like one click leads to another, and before you know it, you're completely off track.
And that's the attention economy at work. They're designed to keep us clicking and scrolling and engaged. So it's up to us to be more intentional with our attention, to set boundaries, and to make sure we're in control.
So what are some practical things we can do?
Well, the first step is awareness. Just noticing where your attention goes throughout the day. What are the things that tend to pull you away from your goals?
Okay, so awareness first, and then what?
Then you can start to implement some strategies. One thing that's really helpful is time blocking.
Time blocking, like
Mhm.
actually scheduling time for specific tasks.
Exactly. So instead of just hoping you'll get to it, you actually block out time in your calendar for focused work. And during that time, you eliminate all distractions.
No phone, no email, no social media.
Exactly. Create a no phone zone if you have to. And if you find yourself getting distracted, gently guide your attention back to the task at hand.
Okay, I can try that. What about notifications, though? They're like little attention vampires constantly trying to suck me back in.
I know they can be tough, but be ruthless. Turn off all non-essential notifications. You don't need to know every time someone likes your Instagram post.
That's true. But what about the important ones, like work emails and things?
Set specific times to check those. Don't be constantly checking your inbox throughout the day. It just breaks your focus.
Good point. So
Yeah.
time blocking, turn off notifications. What else?
Well, there are also some great apps out there that can help limit your social media time or block distracting websites.
Really?
Well, Freedom is a popular one. And there's also AppBlock and Stay Focused. There are tons of options out there. Just find one that works for you.
Okay, cool. Let's check those out. Any other strategies?
Yeah, you could try something called temptation bundling.
Temptation bundling. What's that?
It's the idea of pairing something you should do with something you enjoy doing. So, for example, you only allow yourself to listen to your favorite podcast while you're working out.
Oh, I like that. It's like tricking your brain into being productive.
Exactly. You're making the task more enjoyable, so you're more likely to stick with it.
That's brilliant. Okay, so we've got time blocking, notification management, temptation bundling. Is there anything else?
Don't underestimate the power of mindfulness. Meditation can be really helpful for strengthening your focus muscle.
Meditation. I've tried that before, but I always feel like my mind is racing.
It takes practice, but it's worth it. Even just 5 or 10 minutes a day can make a big difference.
Okay, I'll give it another shot. So basically, we need to be more proactive about how we manage our attention.
Exactly. It's not about becoming some kind of superhuman focus machine. It's about being intentional about where we direct our energy.
And recognizing that our attention is valuable.
Exactly. It's a precious resource. Don't let the world control it for you.
This has been so eye-opening. I feel like I have a whole new perspective on focus.
I'm glad to hear that. Remember, it's a journey, not a destination.
So true. Well, thank you so much for sharing your insights with us today.
It's been my pleasure.
And to everyone listening, we hope you found this deep dive helpful. Remember to be mindful of your attention. Choose what you focus on and take back your power.
And remember to ask yourself, is this serving me? If not, how can I regain control?
That's a great question to keep in mind.
Mm.
Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.